court. Okay, just tell me about the Alzheimer book you want to sell at Costco.
The book that we called Our Best Days.
Just keep talking. I'm going to cut out the bad parts and stick them together.
Okay.
So what gave you the idea of doing something on Alzheimer's?
I think every caregiver, specifically this is for someone caring for Alzheimer's patients, but I've named it Days to Remember. And it starts with my mother, who was an Alzheimer's patient, and then it continues with my wife, who is an Alzheimer's patient now. And it's how our family progressed through from the early signs to a doctor's diagnosis to medication, and then the things that you don't read about. How to make their life more comfortable, how to make your life more comfortable, and maybe things that you arrange in the kitchen, things that you arrange in different closets.
Why does that make a difference?
It's best to have 4 sets of towels rather than 20.
Why?
Confusion, it causes frustration for the Alzheimer's patients, because when they're putting stuff away, say they're putting clothes away from the dryer, the various colored towels, the more they have, the more frustrated they are. Example, in the kitchen, the more plates you have, you don't need service for 12 if there's just 2 of you. You can get by with service for 2, service for 4, and then when you put the knives and forks and silverware and all that away, put your dishes away from the dishwasher, there's less coverage space, and they're not frustrated as where does this go, where does that go, and did I put this in the wrong place? So it's very basic things like that are making us and our family feel that, hey, we're doing something right. And I hate to admit it, but this is what I would call from the engineer's viewpoint. And tackling the person or the problem as an industrial engineer would. How do you make it more efficient? How do you make house cleaning more efficient? How do you make housekeeping more efficient? How do you make providing meals? How do you make them more efficient? And
you were also telling me, Don, about upset versus not upset.
Oh yes, when there's say some type of a trauma within the family, maybe in our case a dog died, and the dog was like my wife's baby, and I didn't know how she would handle it. Well, one time she got up at night and she had a nightmare, and she said that she lost the dog. She can't find the dog. And rather than me telling her that the dog died and then have her relive that, I just said, well, go back to bed and I'll find the dog. So the next morning she didn't even remember the dog, and occasionally now she remembers that, yeah, Nico had died. So those are things that adds to frustration, and rather than bring the situation up again, you're better off just trying to forget it, because then anytime they will forget it. And if a family member has a problem in the hospital, or a family member has a problem in school, it's best not to bring it up to the Alzheimer's patient.
What are the things that they like to hear?
They like to hear, I found it was rewarding to me and also to my wife that at the time when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I was working on my diary. Well, my publisher offered to do my memoirs. So that was very rewarding to go back, and she can remember back in her childhood. And she can remember all types of various situations that went on.
Can we pause?
Sure.